Welcome to Shadow Daddy Groupies, where we thirst over morally questionable men and call it literary analysis.
I'm Raven.
And I'm Kelly. If it's broody, powerful, and emotionally unstable, we're already on our knees.
So grab a drink, abandon your responsibilities, and let's talk books, tropes, and our inability to resist a man with a big sword collection.
Because here at Shadow Daddy Groupies, we like our books how we like our men. Long, hard, and absolutely wrecking us. Welcome to Shadow Daddy Groupies, your new favorite podcast about all of your favorite romantasy books. I'm Kelly.
I'm Raven.
And welcome to episode 2. We are going to do
3.
Oh my God, are we on episode 3? Holy cow. Okay, we're on episode 3. We are going to be talking about GILD by Raven Kennedy.
Not me.
Not this Raven, but we do love ravens. In fact, I think this is a theme.
I dig it. Okay, so I will give us a 1 to 2 minute summary of the first book only, and then we're going to do game time. You got to do your game time hands. Game time.
Game time. Okay.
The Fae abandon this world, leaving the powerful in control. In High Vale, everything is made of gold, floors, walls, furniture, even me. King Midas rescued me from the slums and made me his precious, a symbol of his power. I gave him my heart for protection, safe inside the palace. But when war comes and a deal is made, my trust is broken, and I began to question everything about Midas. The gilded cage I live in may not be as secure as I thought, and the monsters outside could make me regret ever leaving.
Okay, so this week's game is going to be, I don't know, I'm going to call it the alphabet game. And the point of all our games is to convince you to read the book, if you haven't already, through the most roundabout way possible. And or if you've read the book, something that you can play along with. So, Raven.
No.
I'm going to letter A. Aaron.
Okay. B. Bird.
Bird. Okay, I feel like you have to explain the bird.
No, bird is no. You don't have to know, because in the next word is C. And what are you going to put for C?
Cage, but that's
exactly.
Yeah.
What do you put a bird?
So
cage.
in the book, bird cage. Okay, yeah. In the book, she lives in a cage.
Aaron, bird cage.
Aaron, our main character, lives in a cage. So no one can touch her except for King Midas.
Yes.
Okay. D. Digby. Digby is her main guard, and he's kind of old and grumpy, but she's constantly trying to win him over, and he is protective of her more than the other guards, and we love him.
E. Encyclopedia.
Okay.
I mean,
explain.
She was in a library a lot.
Okay.
And she did throw a book.
She did throw a book at one of the girls' head. Okay. I was gonna say enemies, because there's so many enemies going on. Too bad it's
encyclopedia.
It's okay. I'm gonna go F. Fae. There are Fae in this book. In the beginning of the book, you've got the Fae have kind of abandoned the land. So they did some intermixing with the humans. Some of the humans have powers, like King Midas, or so we think. And G.
Gate, because there's several instances with gates. There's her little door. There's the castle gates, and then they also use it kind of like a metaphor between worlds.
Gold. The book is about turning people gold. I can't believe you didn't say gold.
I think I was thinking too deep.
Okay, H. Harem. So in the book, King Midas has a harem of basically sex workers, male and female, and they're referred to as saddles that he rides. And our main character, Aaron, is his main saddle. Okay, I. You're on I. Good luck.
Give me a second, guys.
I feel like there has to be like a countdown of 10, like you lose the game if you can't
Yeah,
think of
that
one
there
in 10
is.
seconds.
That's kind of what it is. It's not supposed to take me 7 business days. I'm just rattling off all the I words I know.
I know. I kind of was doing the same thing.
I was not thinking about this while I was at dinner. I was trying to wing it.
Okay, I have J next, and I can't think of anything for J. So maybe we should just skip I and J.
We'll come back to it when it hits us.
I feel like I have some really good ones in the second half of the alphabet. Can we just skip to the whatever letter we want?
Was indigo at all in this? No.
Indigo. I was thinking like illusion, like, but I think I'm spelling illusion wrong. I think the illusion I'm thinking of starts with an A.
Ill.
Yeah, but like illusion versus
and then
illusion.
illusion.
Yeah, I because there's I don't know. Anyway,
Tomato, potato.
So you're on K.
King.
Yeah. That was what I was gonna say. K. L. L's next. Okay. So the land of the Fae, or like the land that they're in, is called
Land.
Lumeria. Lamb. Lumeria.
Land, not lamb.
Oh, land. Okay, great. Okay, you're on M.
Midas.
Good.
King Midas.
N.
Nighttime.
Oh, yes, that's a great one because her powers that she has go away at night. What? Why are you laughing at me so hard?
Every time I do that face.
Oh.
Oh man. Yes, nighttime. Good job, Kelly.
That was yours. You get that point. Okay, O. I'll tell you what I want to do for O.
What are you gonna do for O?
Orgy.
Yes.
The book starts with an orgy. Like when I have to tell you this funny story. So I was acting. Ooh, intimate. That's a good one. Now I have to go back for J. Shoot. Okay. Anyway, I'm going to tell you my funny story. So my funny. What?
Jacking
off. I don't know if anyone jacks off in this book. Does anyone jack off in this book?
I don't. I'm sure it doesn't matter. It's all the same.
I think there was some pulling out, but not jacking off.
Okay,
anyway, okay. I want to tell you about my funny story before we move on. So I got a book recommendation from a friend, and this was the book recommendation because I wanted something kind of smutty. And I went and found what I thought was this book on Libby, but it wasn't. It was called GILD. And they have, if you go and look up the covers are almost exactly the same, especially when it's a tiny, small thumbnail. So I read Gilded, and I'm reading this book, and I'm thinking, where is the smut? And it goes all the way through the book. It's a nice book, by the way. Like, not completely knocking it.
It's for her.
But there's like no smut. Even so, you know, when we were talking about in Heartless Hunter how they like basically reference sex, but there's nothing shown. This was even less than Heartless Hunter. Like they have sex, but it was just kind of like she woke up the next morning and I was a little sore or something. Like it was just
your
like
bell pepper.
It was my bell pepper. So I'm reading this book and she falls in love with like the nice young boy, not the villain. Hello. And I was like, where is the smut? I'm like, friend, what is going on? And then we figure out that I read the wrong book. I read Gilded, not Gild. So she mailed this to me. She bought it for me, mailed it to me, and I read it. And then I told Raven, you need to read this book. That's my story.
And then I read all 5 of them immediately.
Immediately, and I've only read 3. So we're only talking about book 1 today, Guild. Okay, so now we're on letter P, which is my word, and I'm going to go with either prison or pirates, because there are pirates in this book.
was going neither.
What?
We were gonna have the same guess. You said I'm gonna go with two, and I had two ready, and I was like, she's gotta
Are
be
they the
guessing
exact
one.
same?
No, but
Oh, okay.
they fall in the
What are
same.
yours? Penis?
And poussoir.
Penetration?
That's a good one.
What was it?
I said poussoir.
Oh,
I can't say that word. You cannot pay me, and I mean, you could if anyone wants to pay me enough
that's
money.
so
I'll say that
funny.
word.
I have no problem with that word. I don't know if we're allowed to say it, but I have no problem with that word.
It's
And you know what one I have a really hard time with that's really popular right now is the C word. I had like a really hard time with that word, and right
cock,
now it's super popular.
cock or
No,
cunt.
Cunt.
Oh, kind of stupid. That was like my not
I'd
allowed to
much rather
cuss.
say pussy over
Ugh.
cunt.
Ugh.
Okay, Q.
Oh
Softball,
God.
Q.
Um, I had one. Uh,
Girl, softball. You should be able to get this. Queen.
oh, that was gay. Queen. See?
Uh, Rewind. Q is for Queen Melina, her King Midas's wife. They don't like each other. And
Mm.
honestly, not in this book, but in the next couple of books, she's a real cunt.
Well, she definitely ain't the other word.
Okay, QR. Rissa.
Gay. Come on. What do? You cut the ribbons.
Okay, I was gonna do ribbons. Okay, so
Take it
in the
back.
book, okay, R is for ribbons. We're not doing Rissa. Rissa's not important enough. R is for ribbons. Arin has these things that she refers to as ribbons. And I want to know your opinion about the ribbons.
I think that this game has to be played in rapid fire, and
I
so that
know,
way
but
we
we're
don't
not
have
very
time.
good at this game
All
yet.
right, S sex.
Oh,
We're
you
almost
don't want to?
there.
I thought we were talking about the
We'll get
book
there.
as we go.
Oh,
No?
we're getting this game. This
All
game's
right, I
stressing
put
me.
S for saddle.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay, T is for
explain.
Tyrandel, which is Midas's first name.
Yeah. Um, it is a place too.
Not in this book.
No, no, it's not in this book. What's the next one?
You. You. Sign language for you. For all my deaf people out there. You.
I don't know.
You don't know? I don't have a
I'm
good one for you.
umbrella.
There's no umbrellas, are
Somebody in
there?
there was using an umbrella.
Okay. V, I put victim. Because honestly, Arin's a real victim.
No, she's a prisoner.
She's also a victim. She has a really terrible backstory that we don't really get into until
We're
like book 3. But I still,
when we
she has
get
a really
to her
shitty life.
when we get to her character rating, we'll describe everything there's to know about Arya up until the end.
Okay. I have a good one for W.
What the hell am I on? What am I
W.
on? Oh,
W.
I don't know why I was thinking wassail, like castle, but with a W. Watchtower, whiskey, wine.
Wine! She's a total wino.
Yeah, she is.
She's a really big wino. There's only like one other book, maybe 2 that I've read where someone drinks that much wine
Yeah.
in the book.
Wine. Is there wine? More wine? He won't give me
More wine,
wine.
please. Like every morning she's waking up with a hangover because she hates her fucking life. She really does. I mean, okay, X. I don't have an X word, but I'm going to use a word with X in it. The sixth kingdom. She lives in the sixth kingdom. That's my
That's a good
workaround.
one. I'll allow it.
Okay. Why? Why?
Mhm. Young.
You know what? I was thinking the same thing.
See,
She's very young.
great minds think alike.
Yeah. Okay, Z.
Isn't there like a wait, what's the pirate's name?
Falk. No, that's the king's name. Starts with an F though.
No, no, never mind. Let's keep going.
Thane.
Yeah.
Thane.
Z. We gotta come up with a Z and then we can.
Zebra. I'm just kidding. There's no
It's not
zebras.
that. Come on now.
Oh, X. We could have done xenophobia for X. I don't know why, but I feel like there's some xenophobia. Okay, sorry. Z.
Gen Z.
Gen Z will love this book. Not a lot.
I feel like Aaron would be a Gen Z. Well, she is a Gen Z. I
Do
guess it
you
depends
think she
on.
has a Gen Z personality? I don't know.
Oh, well. Yeah.
All right, Z for Zaddy.
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 Oh, Zaddy.
It's not even the right book.
He's a Zaddy. It's okay. Doesn't have to be
Also,
a
I feel
Zayden.
like Zayden is also an X, so I don't think
Yeah. But the term zaddy is just saying that instead of saying daddy. So it doesn't matter because he's a zaddy.
it's a Zaddy now. Okay, so let's go over our ratings. So overall, Guild stars, what would you rate it?
4.
I'm gonna go 4. I feel like it's not a high 4, but it's like definitely a high 3. I the okay, so here was my thing about the book is that I felt like it just started getting good at the very, very end.
You were not lying about that.
And but it did make me rush out to go get book 2. And the whole series is a completed series. And I did feel like, okay, it started getting good in book 2. I feel like book 3 was even better.
After
Um,
every one of the books, I will say in advance that you guys should read because after every one of the books, there was a cliffhanger, and you were just like, oh my God, I gotta keep going. I gotta keep going. I gotta keep going. Because that is why I blew through the whole series.
yeah, she like leaves you with a good cliffhanger. So for this book, they kind of refer to Fae kind of vaguely through the whole book. Like they used to be around, they used to breed with humans. That's why some humans still have powers. And then at the very end of the book, you figure out King Midas's secret. You get introduced to um the first
Zaddy.
like Fae, the first Zaddy.
The
And I was
first and
like,
only.
come on, you're like bearing the lead for a whole book. Go ahead.
Yeah. That the ending definitely was like maybe I was very eager to keep going. I was
Yeah.
pissed though because I waited that long,
Yeah.
but it was so good.
Okay, so the twist. So turn this off if you don't want any spoilers. The twist is that King Midas does not have the gold touch.
So Arn is gold, completely gold. She is a gold. They call her the gold touched because she is gold, and they think that Midas has. I thought for a little bit that that was true, that Midas had the ability to turn anything he wanted gold, and she was this infamous gold touch, the precious. And yeah, so there's a little backstory on that one, and then
Hmm.
we all think that he's got this ability when it turns out at the end of the book we find out that
She's the one with the gold touch.
wait, do we he doesn't
But
die in this.
who?
When do we find out that she's the gold touch? Oh, that's right, because
We
we
find
I
out when
remember the
she
Fane.
hits the pirate.
Fane.
Yeah, Thane. So we also find out that she doesn't have gold touch 24 hours a day. When the sun goes down, she loses her ability to gold touch. So King Midas locks her in a cage. She's not allowed to come out during the day. And then she can kind of slink around at night when she can't accidentally gold touch something and ruin their whole basically farce. Like
Yeah.
she gold touches things
For
in
Midas.
secret for Midas, and everyone thinks Midas is the one doing it. And they've come up with like a little thing, like,
So
sleight of hand.
yeah, at nighttime she can't do it, but during the day she is able to touch and turn everything gold. Anything she touches, because she has to wear gloves as
Yeah,
well.
she has to wear gloves. She can turn people accidentally gold, her pillow gold, like
Mhm.
everything gold. So she has to be really careful about what she touches. So she wears these like gold gloves so that when she touches things, they don't turn gold because the gloves are already gold. Um,
But she's very majestic. It's very cool. I give her 4.
I don't know. I felt she was a little whiny for me. Um,
We're definitely not a female main character kind of girl.
Me, I just don't like whiny characters. I
I
just
can't say
like,
I wouldn't be whiny in that predicament though.
well, that's why I called her a victim. Like she is really has a shitty life, honestly. But yeah, I don't know. She's like a 3 to me. I'd like to see her evolve as a character in the next books. Okay, I feel like the main male character of this book is Midas because we don't get
For book
to,
1, yes.
for book one. I hate Midas with a passion, which is kind of why I feel like I should give him 4 stars because he's written in such a way where, like, at first you're like,
Just loathe him at one point.
uh, am I supposed to like you? And then you're like, oh, okay, well, maybe that was okay. And then you're like, no, you are a horrible, horrible
Yeah.
person.
Yeah. I
And
felt
then at
that.
the very end, he was like, oh my God, she's my precious, and I'm gonna rip apart the world to go get her. And you're like, okay. Like, should I like you again?
I no, at the end, once Zaddy stepped into the picture, I was like, hands up. He
Honestly, same, same. As soon as Commander Rot walked on that ship, I was like,
brought.
I'm team whatever he is.
I picture a gut. All right, so I give him a 5, but we're not at him. So Midas,
But
I
we're
give
not
him
at
a
him
4.
yet. Okay.
Midas 4
Like 4 because you hate him so much. Like
because he's written well, so
he's
well.
written really well. Um, yeah, like he reminds me of like my narcissistic boyfriend I had when I was like 22 that drove me to go to therapy for the last 15 years of my life.
Name drop, name drop, name drop,
Name
name drop.
drop. We should just describe him as um uh, we should just give him a description, not names. I feel like that is probably better for my reputation.
My entire roster is the reason why I'm in therapy. I
Same girl, same.
can't pinpoint one.
Kevin point one.
It's all or none.
The level of gaslighting that this man instilled in me. Have you ever had a boyfriend that made you feel like you were legit going crazy? That was my boyfriend when I was 23. I was like, I called this therapist. I'm like, I think I might be going crazy. Like, there's something wrong. Like, my reality it just doesn't make any sense. And she's like,
I think even
girl,
at
you need
that
my
age,
help.
yeah, definitely a lot of fucking gaslighting. A lot.
So much. Oh, man.
Oh.
Okay. Um,
Let's okay, who was your
talk
favorite?
about world building.
Digby.
Digby.
I love Digby.
Okay, I love Digby and but I feel like we can't talk about Digby till book 3.
No, but I thought it was cute because she always like harassed him to drink with
Yeah.
her, and he was just
Yeah.
always
He's like the grumpy
guard.
cinnamon roll. He's
I don't
kind of like
know
a
where
grumpy
the
cinnamon
fuck.
roll.
What the fuck are these cinnamon rolls? You said it the last time, and I
He's
was like,
sweet.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, Cassian is a cinnamon roll. He's a big, fluffy, sweet man.
With maybe a hot Cheeto inside. Like Jesus.
I'm not saying cinnamon rolls can't fuck.
Oh, Digby, no.
but he's like kind of like a dad
He's a teddy bear.
figure to her. Like he's like kind of grumpy, but he also like really cares for her. He's one of like the few guards that doesn't harass her or treat her like crap. And he has zero interest in her. Like
He's old.
most people,
He's like daddy, but
he has a
daddy.
dad,
Grandpa-y.
grandpa-y, like
Uncle.
nurturing. We'll stick with dad and grandpa. I don't know. I feel
Cinnamon
like
roll.
it's cinnamon roll. You just cinnamon roll.
Listen here, we're about to give all of our characters from here on out on every rating that we do. They are a food item.
No, cinnamon roll is a specific.
No, we're giving them. It's that way you guys
type.
can understand. And we're going to say why we are giving them that food. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my
Midas
God.
is Funyuns.
It's a Funyun.
It just feels right.
It just feels right. I feel like orange should be a Ferrero Rocher.
Is that racist? Is that judge?
What?
Is that? I feel like that's discrimination, Kelly.
A Ferrero Rocher?
It's because she's
racist?
gold.
It's gold on the outside. It's chocolatey and nutty on the inside.
I just feel like that is such discrimination.
It's
Yes,
sweet
yes.
and nutty on the inside.
A caramel Rolo.
Caramel Rolo.
I've never had those, but I know what they look like. But yeah, she's fair. Yeah, Ferrero Rocher.
Ferrero Rocher.
Felt like we were discriminating hard in foods, though. Digby is a donut.
A donut.
That's great. That's a great one because he's kind of like hollow on the inside in the first book, but he's sweet.
Powdered sugar donut.
Definitely not a cream filled.
Okay.
World building.
World building.
This was
Okay.
not as extravagant as Heartless Hunter for me.
Okay, you didn't go so crazy. You know what it reminded me of is like it was a kind of an SJM sort of world, but a little bit less world building because it was very specific to, these two characters. They didn't travel too much, but you have a land, 6 kingdoms. There used to be 7. Lumeria, Araya is the land, and I think Lumeria is the 7th one that disappeared. And then
Yeah.
in Araya, each of these 6 kingdoms has a ruler, and the ruler has some sort of power left over by Fae mixing in their blood. But the 6th kingdom, their heir didn't get a power. So in order to kind of keep the throne and kind of bring more money to the king because the kingdom was broke, they arranged a marriage with Midas because they think he's gold touched. So there's like some fae in there. There's people with powers. There's a bunch of different kingdoms. Midas is kind of like linked up with the 4th kingdom, and then he betrays them and he tries to pin it on, what was it, 5th kingdom? Where's King Rot from? Ravager.
King Rat's 4.
4?
No, 3.
I thought Falk was 4.
Yeah.
Oh, Ravager's 3. Okay. So he tries to pin it on Ravager, and then Ravager was like,
Ravages.
fuck that. I'm going to come and attack you if you think you're going to do that.
And what you find out is that Arin is full fae.
She's full fae. And at the end of the book, she meets another full fae, Commander Rip,
who is probably the most powerful for now.
For right now in this book, hands down, most powerful. He also is kind of described in a cool way. He has these spikes that come out of his skin in various places, like right above his eyebrows.
And
And
fish
then like
scales.
and then he has scales on his cheeks. And I thought that was
The spikes in the
fascinating.
back of his spine. His arms have
His arms
spikes.
have some spikes, his spine has some spikes. And once
Listen,
you get to
once you
book
picture it, it ain't pretty, but once you find that fan art, it's great.
fan art was actually like what sold me on it because yeah, we are like, ew, gross, why? And then you
God.
kind of look at the fan art and you're like, oh, okay, maybe it's,
I can get on board with this
little
hedgehog.
monster romance. I don't know, maybe.
Little hedgehoggy,
Hedgehoggy
like platypusy. Oh,
girl. Do you know what a platypus looks like?
I do, but I'm just thinking because all the things combined, there's just so many different things.
He's a platypus.
That's as close as I'm ever going to get to saying that word.
Platypusy. Okay.
Sorry.
So as in terms of world building, I felt like it was an interesting world and it doesn't take a lot of thought to like get on board. You know, you're not looking at complicated maps, you're not trying to figure out who, where, whatever. Like it's pretty simple. Simple. It's kingdoms 1 through 6.
I think the big difference and what makes world building so good is how long they are spending in places. Because I feel like in Heartless Hunter, it was like, oh shit, I was there for 3 hours and I'm over here in the next minute. So you didn't really get a sense of the place that you're in. I feel like they spent a significant amount of time in these lands and you kind of got to get comfortable with them before they just willy-nilly ran off to fucking the dress shop. I
All
don't know.
right.
That's how I feel about that. I feel like it was very, they took the time and the detail.
Yeah, so this book pretty much just has like two places. They're either at the Highbell Kingdom Castle and then they're traveling to Fourth Kingdom where a bunch of stuff happens while they're traveling and they don't even get to Fourth Kingdom. So it's basically just the castle and traveling.
Yeah. And I'm multitasking, but I definitely give the world building a 5.
Okay. Uh, mm, how about the writing style?
I loved it. I love that for something that was very complex, that it was detailed. Like it was written out so well. I mean, for as many moving parts as you had, I feel like it was very flowy.
Okay. I felt like the writing style for this was like really simple, easy read. There's nothing like super complicated about it. And but one of the things that I thought was really interesting is she said that she got the idea from this book kind of based on a poem she wrote. And so at the back of the book, you could read the poem. And then in every book after, she writes a new poem. And I thought that was really interesting.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I think it's in either the epilogue or the prologue where she talks about her poem, and then the poem's at the very end of the book. Yeah,
I'm sorry, guys. I'm multitasking, or else we hear some chiming throughout this.
probably gonna have to take this out of the video
I
of
mean,
the podcast.
I mean, we don't have to. It's just personal. And I feel like it's a lot more personable. This part, now that we're talking about taking it out, we can take that out. Like we just go with the flow.
Like me yelling at my dogs.
It's so funny. Leo got up behind you. And I thought Leo was behind me. And I was like, oh fuck, what is that? I'm so glad I kept that one together. Where we at? Where we at? Where we at?
I don't know. Where are we at? Did we just do the whole thing? Are we
Open
done?
discussion.
Uh, yeah, I don't
Okay,
know.
so let me warn you, whenever you start this book, the first thing you're gonna walk into is a full-blown orgy.
Yeah. Well, that was So when I finally picked up this book after my whole not reading the right book thing, and the first opening scene was like a six-person orgy, I was like, oh yeah, this is the right book.
Can you imagine if I read the other one? You intentionally gave me the other one to read. Kelly, what the fuck is this?
I made a point of like telling everyone this story before I am like, you should read this book, but listen to my story first so you don't read the wrong book. Nothing against the other book. Like, feel free to read it. There's, but there's no spice. It's a bell pepper for me on the other one. This one, spicy. What do you rate this on spice level? I would say
Oh,
like a 3.5 to 4 at least for me.
one.
Why?
Only because it's only so descriptive in the beginning. And it's for that short, like one chapter, maybe. That's it.
Yeah, that's like the most I feel like the spice gets. But there's a lot of references to sex, and there's a lot of
It gets
and she does have sex with Midas, so there is sex
it's
and
so and it
references to
but
watching
for
sex.
what she I was very disappointed in there for what started out with out the gate and to what that her and Midas did. I was like, what?
Okay, yeah, but I
Vanilla.
think the author did that on purpose
She did.
so
And
that she could do a juxtaposition between her next male love
she
interest.
she most definitely did. One of the little details in it, because it's always brought up in books, is the lack of pull-out method. And I remember reading this and I
Oh,
was like, well, she really let us know that he did. And
he,
I was
yeah,
like,
she
strange.
described pulling out for sure.
And I was like, strange, but he put it in what's name's butt. I mean, I'm not joking. This is in the book. Just read the first chapter. That's all you're looking for.
Just read the first chapter. That's all the
And
spice.
I was like, but she's the precious one. Why wouldn't he be precious with her? I don't know.
Yeah, there was definitely so in the beginning of the book, she's watching him have sex with six other
People.
saddles, and he has a whole bunch of saddles that he has sex with. He does not just have sex with her and occasionally with his wife, like a lot of love interests. Like, he only occasionally comes and has sex with her, and then
It's
you
all for
pretty
air.
quickly you pretty quickly realize that he's basically only having sex with Aaron as like a manipulation technique because it's really throwing her off. She's like mad at him because
She's
she has to
getting
like
love.
watch him, and then he like gives her just a tiny bit of love and affection, and then she's like, oh, okay, I'm fine, and he keeps her in a cage. So there's like something going on with Midas. You figure that out, like there's something wrong with him right off the bat.
And if you have not read this book and you're thinking about reading this book, the one thing that I was like, yep, gotta read it was when I saw the meme and you were like, you haven't read that book yet? And it was a girl in a cage, a bird cage. And I was like, if this isn't my Saturday night, then I don't want it. So I was like, oh shit, put that new kink on the list.
uh Interesting. I didn't even think about that being a kink.
Okay, I only did because of the meme. It was very sexualized. I was like, oh, and I was expecting it to be a little bit more than it was, but it started out, it had me fooled when it started out. I was like, oh, shit. Okay.
There's still some spice. This is at least a 3.
Well, go ahead. I want you to read a chapter from that.
Can I read the orgy scene?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
No, people should go
Yes.
read it themselves.
No, we are getting people to read it in the most diabolical way possible. So please read a part of the orgy scene.
Hmm. How about just the first sentence? I lifted the gold goblet to my lips as I watched the show of naked flesh through the space between my bars. It's a great opening line.
Yeah, it definitely points out her alcoholism.
7 bodies working all to one soul release while I'm here apart like a spectator for support. For a sport. The
I
king
can't.
called me in here a couple hours ago when he started getting hot and heavy with his revolving harem of concubines, also known as his royal saddles. Anyway, yeah, you can read
There
the
you go.
book.
There's your teaser. You know what? Raven Kennedy sponsor us because if that works.
We only want people to read your book. Don't be mad at us.
It's a great review. I mean, I don't.
Yeah.
I would be honest. I'm pretty freaking honest about my feelings towards books. Miss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that it?
I don't know. Is that it? I am so
I feel
sorry.
like I
Thank
feel
you.
like we did a
Until
good
next
job.
time.
Everyone go out and read Guilds. This is Shadow Daddy Groupies. I'm Kelly.
And I'm Raven.
Tune in next week for our next book.
My makeup looks
Your makeup looks so good.
good.
Go watch YouTube so you can see Raven's makeup.
And
And